See what I'm doing now? I'm drawing, it's in whiteboard marker. So, yesterday, magnetic north was this one. Then I added 1.2 on the declination, and it was about, you know, a little bit off, what you would expect. Now today I've checked it, and it was all right for a good, well, yesterday. Today I've checked it and measured it, and now my line is over here for north, and that's 12 degrees difference. That's with 1.2, so we're about 11 degrees wander somewhere from something. So I was just lining it up there. I could get my telephone and check to see what my telephone says today. And then this is the metal ruler. This was also causing problems. You wouldn't think. It's little to say, that's what I'm starting to notice. It's a bit difficult to see the numbers, but you'll see the thing move. So if I put my metal ruler near it, like that, and this is a stainless steel metal ruler, so it's not necessarily very magnetic. Oh, there you go. And there's certain bits of it that are more magnetic. It's possible I've had magnets stuck to it at some point. But yeah, always doing random things. So this is an issue when trying to calibrate anything. Like you could have a watch on or a bracelet or, I don't know, anything on your person that might be causing you erratic readings, and then you might be having problems calibrating it. Because I've been having all sorts of problems. And some of it may be all this stuff. Like I've got metal rings and a watch and a bracelet and, I don't know, metal buckle. Telephone's probably got a magnet in it. So that's what I'd say, out of all the sensors, the magnetometer is the most sensitive to external forces. Where are we lined up there approximately? So this is where I was lined up yesterday. So now it's only saying we're only 7 degrees out, so we've lost, I might have not had it quite lined up. It is quite sensitive to, so I'll keep on battling on and work out what I'm doing. It's the calibration I was having trouble with, because when you first get it out of the box, it doesn't work properly. And you got to do the orientation correctly, and I had it upside down. No, I've got it rotated 180 degrees. So let's go back to our sensors. It should technically be our highest number, if I just do it correctly. So that's as close as I can get it. Alright, so that was around the most. That's saying 1084. Because when you calibrate it, the scale changes. So we're on 2000 at the moment on the scale. I've saved a preset. So I'm connected to the computer. I'm going to do a calibration. See what happens. It normally just does weird stuff. So let's try. So I need to go round and round and round, round and round and round, round and round and round. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, pitch, and roll. Okay. Now we're all tangled up. Try and tangle it. So, how did that get on? Did it make it worse? Better? A nonsense? So 12 degrees, whoa, 12 degrees, it reckons. Let's go back to our sensors. And so we're still on a 2000 scale, but this number is much smaller now. So let's just rotate it. If I line up with my original north, so it's 15 degrees. It's actually saying over here more today. In there. And that's with a 1.2 declination, so where are we? Well, it reckons that's 0 for another line. This is the issue. Here's proper sensitive. I think it might be me. No. Ah, ha, ha. It is my watch. I wonder what's going on. I literally am losing my mind. I'm trying to work out what's going on here. So, my watch interacts with it. Well, ring, no. Chain, no. No. Ruler, yes. Ruler's the watch was quite bad. I think that's what it might have been, you know. Yeah, that's my watch. Look, woo! That's what it is. I've been trying to calibrate it wearing that smartwatch. Right. That's why I was slightly losing my mind. I'm like, but why is it wrong? So, that makes a lot of sense. We can start again. Okay, right. So go back to 0 degrees. Degree. A little dot on the table. You know, this is all very approximate. But what we actually want is repeatable results. So it's not necessarily how we do it. It's just if I put it back in the same place, the numbers should be the same. So, right. We are on 0 degrees. With 1.2 declination added. Draw my, I don't know if there's anything magnetic in the table, because I've got some LEDs underneath. So the LEDs don't affect it. It's all things like this. You could have something metal in your table. Or one of them super strong magnets. I end up sticking them to things randomly and forgetting. So a lot of these lines don't make sense because they won't make sense because my watch was messing with all the readings. So back to drawing lines. So that just shows you how sensitive that sensor is. And you do need to do a bit of a sanity check. Like, I know north is that way. For example, north is not north, that is not north. Like, it is roughly that way. So today's measurement is here, and that is with the 1.2 added. That was yesterday's just magnetic north reading. This was today's, I don't know what I was doing. It's quite fascinating, isn't it? Might have to wipe some of these off. What should I do next? I maybe could fly it about and see if the motors, well, they're clearly, the motors just being there, they're permanent magnets, aren't they? So there's no magnetic field being produced by the coils. It's just the magnets at the moment are on all the time. It doesn't like getting satellites there either, which is interesting. Let's bung that back over there. So when I check it with my phone, I had to recalibrate my phone. It didn't line up. The phone was out worse. The phone was like north was over that way. So I recalibrated the phone, and then it did line up exactly with that original line. So this is after my new calibration today on the drone, but the phone after calibration did come back. So that is approximately 3 degrees difference. So I don't know if it's to do with my calibration technique. It's possible. So I'll try again and calibrate it, because those numbers did get smaller in the scale. It's possible I'm not doing it quite right. I've done 3 separate calibrations, and I calibrated it the same way I did my phone. Like that. And what I found was, this one, ignore that. That's because I think my watch was causing problems. This one is what the phone lines up to after calibration. Calibrated the drone 3 times, 1, 2, 3. And so my third one is this one in the middle. And this is plus 1.2 degrees. So I'm just guessing it's going to vary slightly, because it's not a fixed point, is it? But I guess it's something you have to calibrate every time you're going to use the drone. It's really sensitive to external stuff. And then I need to fly it around to see if the motors, and I can't inside give it full throttle to see if the current going through the power wires, which are here, and the compass chip is there, you know, about 1 inch away, 2-3 centimeters maybe. That might be too close, so I may have to shield it or just move the wires. I can shorten the wires, move them up here. So it is just a little bit tricky, to say the least. Oh, there we go. So yeah, the chip is just there. I'll carry on fiddling, do some more testing. I'll just add this sort of like a reference video. So after I've calibrated it every time, the scale has changed from what I had before. So now my maximum X is about 400-ish. We've got 1200 on the Z. We've got about 100 and something on the Y. And what you can see, these lines, so blue X, yellow Y, red Z. So the blue, that means we're facing north. So if I face the side of the drone, the yellow one will go up. Would be the highest number, because it's the biggest magnetic field. So if we rotate it, face that side approximately, you can see the yellow one is now at the top, the blue one isn't. The red one hasn't done anything, because we're still flat with the ground. So that's what confused me to begin with. I didn't quite realise what was going on. There's very little, the instructions are quite confusing for the magnetometer, and I don't think very many people use them. Just because of the noisy environment, you know, I might turn it off as yet. So the Z, the red one, is if you're you do that. See the red one? That'd be the best way for me to do it. Look. So we're upside down, red is at the top. And the right way up, red is at the bottom. So if I point the drone towards north, I'll have to guess, but the blue one will go up. There we go. So that's how you know. You point round here, it goes down. Then say if we go to the left hand side, yellow one would be the highest one. There we go. And then the red one is that. So that is just for reference really in the video, because it was confusing the hell out of me. I had to rotate it counterclockwise because I've got it in rotated. So I was getting all weird results, and then my watch, which I've just found out, was causing me problems. The ruler was causing me problems yesterday. So keep on trucking. It's crazy how it works. What I could do to make it easier to, because we're just sort of eyeballing it, aren't we? If I put a little loop or a hole in the end where my ELRS antenna is, I could then just use a pin, poke it into the wood, and then that would be fixed. And then I'd just be able to rotate it around a fixed point. Because at the moment I'm moving it and it's doing that or doing this and doing that. So that would make it a lot easier for calibrating if I just added a little extra tiny bit on there. But I'm happy with that, to be fair. You know, there's 3 different calibrations. It's drifted that much, not much, between 3 calibrations. As long as we know roughly north is that way, and then it's not being interfered with when I fly or give it the full beans, we might start to have problems. You could be in a situation where, I don't know, GPS rescue starts to kick in, it's battling the winds, it then uses quite a bit of throttle, you then get a big magnetic field around these wires, it then thinks that is north, it would confuse the hell out of it. So it does need some extra testing as well. All fun stuff. So when you plug it in now, I've
Still
got...
over here, just turned on, not doing anything. Still over here, just turned on, not doing anything. Danger. Telemetry recovered. Woo! Satellites. Battery low. 8.
So what we'll see, I've got a new symbol here. Hey, how cool is that? We have a new symbol on the map as well, which is quite exciting. It does take a little while, so we've got 10, 12, 13 satellites, but it does take a good couple of minutes, even when they're locked, to like stabilize, because obviously I'm not in the hedge, but that's quite close. So again, something to bear in mind with GPS, even though the satellites say they're locked, you want to leave it a good minute maybe, just to settle down. So the new symbol is...
GPS locked. 10 satellites. Beast mode.
Thanks, Joshua. We've got north on the little thing, and if I rotate, it now knows the position. So
10 satellites.
that's really handy for GPS rescue, because it doesn't know the position. It has to fly in a certain
GPS
direction.
Locked. 10. Beast mode. Receiver still connected.
So it has to fly in a certain direction for a little tiny bit, and then it knows which way it's going, and then from that makes its decision which way to point. So with the compass, it knows which way it's pointing, but it's quite important that we install it properly.